You'll find them at photo stores featuring the special Kodak 1961 Cameraland display.
For more than 100 years, the name Kodak has been an iconic symbol of America. And with their headquarters in Rochester, New York, they were the big kid on the block, a camera company that revolutionized the way people snapped photos and shared them with friends. The time of your life. With the slogan, "You press the button, we do the rest," Kodak was founded in 1888 by George Eastman, with a camera that cost $25 and could take 100 photos. Within 10 years of manufacturing its first camera, Kodak made more than 100,000 of its so-called box cameras.
Kodak's name was huge.
Mike Wright knows well. He owns this photo store in Rochester, where he has helped process people's Kodak moments for more than 2 decades. But he says when the digital age came knocking, Kodak was slow to accept the change.
Well, you can ignore it. If you do, you won't survive, or you have to make the changes, okay, and recognize and try and understand what's going to happen in the future.
Kodak's decade-long struggle ended late last month when it filed for bankruptcy. Layoffs that included 47,000 people since 2003, the city where Kodak was once an economic and social powerhouse remains disappointed but determined to pick up the pieces.
4x6.
Wright says the bankruptcy is a sign of how Kodak relied on its name to sell their product.
And it can't be just the product. It has to go beyond that. Kodak never recognized that in the digital world.
People who once worked for Kodak must find a way to start over. People like Lee Payrot, who was laid off from his engineering job at Kodak after 16 years with the company. He now makes ends meet by remodeling homes in Syracuse.
I loved it. The job was awesome. I had no complaints, honestly. I really thought I was retiring from that, but I lost everything now.
Lee says Kodak took good care of him, giving him benefits such as a company car, dental insurance, and medical coverage. But he says he noticed things started to change a few years after he started working there.
But they just started cutting back, and the cuts just kept getting a little deeper and a little deeper. We jumped on the digital bandwagon. What I think the problem was, we jumped on it too late.
Despite having more than 60,000 employees at the height of its success in the 1980s, Kodak now only employs about 6,000 people. But that doesn't necessarily mean the people are moving out of Rochester to find the jobs. Matt Hurlbut is the Vice President and Chief Operating Officer of the Greater Rochester Enterprise. He says the filing doesn't mean an end for Rochester.
Most of the folks who work in this region are employed by companies who are 100 people or less. Over 97% of the workforce are working for those small to medium-sized companies.
In the meantime, Mike Wright must adapt his business to a world without film, and Lee Payrot must move on without Kodak.
It was a good journey. I don't have any complaints. I wish I was still there, quite honestly.
And as for the city of Rochester, put on the map by a man with a revolutionary idea to capture life's little moments, is now looking ahead to a future full of uncertainty and hope.